Hi friends, Melissa here. I'm just popping on live, Wellness Wednesday, and I want to start doing these lives again. Julie and I were talking about it, and I want to be here to bring some informative, share some stories, informative information, I should say, and share some stories. Does everyone have their doTERRA lip balm? You need it. Oh my, it's so yummy. What's this one? This is just the regular one. It's so good. Get the lip balm. Anyway, I wanted to come on live just for some education. I am a teacher and I am a doTERRA advocate and user. And there's something really important that I want to share. I need to know out there. Give me a hi, who you are, who's watching. Are you on LLV? This is a big question mark I have for you, because I got to share something with you just a little bit tonight. So first, if you see this, say hello, give me a shout out, and then are you on LLV? Are you using it? And some of you are like, what does that mean? It's lifelong vitality, but I got to tell you why. So I think I've been using it for 4 years now, let's say 4, but I didn't use it right away. I was a oil person. doTERRA has the best oils, highest quality, and certified, tested, therapeutic grade. And that's why I started using doTERRA. Second, using doTERRA because of the sourcing. So it was highest grade, and the sourcing is like highest standard. So those were my two big things, because I knew if it was high grade, it was going to work. And if I knew it's sourced properly, then I'm putting my money in the right money funnel, as I call it. But I didn't know about this. LLV, have you used it? So this is the Lifelong Vitality Pack. I'm only going to talk about like Alpha CRS. No, I'm going to talk about the Microplex, because I have celiac disease, which means my body has an autoimmune that likes to make me respond to wheat in a way where I inflame, my gut inflames. I don't want to get into the gritty details. Shout out if you have celiac. Can you put a comment in here? Because you need to get on a couple of protocols to help your inflammation reduce. And this was huge for me. And actually, my mom also says LLV was her game changer as well. If you're already on supplements that you love, don't worry about changing. But if those supplements haven't done anything for you, then think about changing, because you want to see those changes. This is a 30-day. So you have 30 days to see those changes or your money back. Here are my changes. Number 1, I have an autoimmune, my celiac disease, where my response would be breaking out of canker sores in my mouth, because that's actually a sign of gut health, is skin and mouth health. The microbiome, it was just terrible. I would get them all inside my mouth when my stress went up. So my gut, if I had wheat or it sneaks into everything. Because it's in soy, and soy's in like so many things. Anyway, all of this inflammation, I would get these like eczema marks here, especially report card season, super, super high stress. So that's how my body responded to stress, having celiac disease as well as the normal, as most of you know, with celiac disease, or people might say like wheat allergy, whatever you want to call it, is like the gut, the digestive system is I can't even tell you. And then that affects the brain. So there was like high amounts of brain fog, low motivation, emotional dysregulation, all of the awesome things. It was related to food and my gut. Mom's was arthritis. Her arthritis in her hands was like they were swelling, and she could starting to get that feeling in her hands where she couldn't move her hands. Those were the things for us that were the biggest. There might be some more for me, but right now, that's what I remember. So I started to learn a little bit more about what's going on here. So I want to talk about the microvitamin right now. I had it open and then of course I shut it, but unreal. So if you are on it, make sure you put a comment in, yeah, I'm taking it. Share the wins that you've noticed. And sometimes those wins are so, I don't know, it's like we shift and we don't even know that we have a win. That's what I always find funny. Like our brain's like, oh, I forgot. Like I forget that I used to get sores in my mouth, or I forget that I used to get these rashes. But I started thinking right now, the rashes were on my arms, but they were also on my legs. Like the eczema was on my legs, that I would take my heel. This is like an overshare. Some of you might not want to hear this, but I would take my heel and dig it into my leg and scratch so hard while I was writing report cards that I would bleed. Some of you are like, Melissa, that sounds like counseling, not gut. Well, it was both. Definitely learning how to process stress, but having the right nutrients in my body to process it made a huge, huge difference. So here's, oh, I love that one too. I'll talk about that one later. Okay. Here is the awesomeness. Oh, it's just there. Oh my goodness, you guys, my apologies. Here we are. Okay, so some of the things we already know. Vitamin A, that helps with our vision. That's what's in this one. And that's retinol. Vitamin C, everybody knows that. And I want to know, so what they're doing, because of the way that this is formulated, it's whole food formulated, so it's bioavailable. That means our gut absorbs it, and that's why it works. Vitamin C, 222%. That's 4 capsules though in a day. So just so you know, these that I'm talking about, these are 4 in a day. I only take half the amount, 2. I only take 2 of each in the morning. But Julie and I were talking about this as we come into the darker season, or the season of like, here in Kelowna, we don't get a lot of sunlight. It's the lack of sunlight. It's looking at this because vitamin D is the next one. So there's vitamin D in here, is maybe looking at upping it if we're noticing our emotional levels are starting to tank, or energy levels are starting to tank. So vitamin D, immune function and hormone health. Vitamin E is a very powerful antioxidant. Vitamin K is for the liver, and it helps with bones and liver. Thiamine. This has to do with healthy heart and nerve function. Riboflavin, I remember hearing about that. And this is the creation of energy from lipids and carbohydrates. So this is like metabolism. Niacin. And this has to do with cellular metabolism as well. So these are still within the vitamins, and it is key for like a lot of people that have that vitamin deficiency, have diarrhea and confusion, and it's like really vital and important part of the like gut brain. Vitamin B, as we know, it is a necessary coenzyme to involved in metabolism as well as the creation of the brain messengers, the neurotransmitters. So that's why it's so important that we get that vitamin B in. Folic acid, that has to do with our cell reproduction. Vitamin B12 is maintaining healthy communication, so our neurons are like firing right. Biotin, which is important for the synthesis of glucose from various substances. So that's like energy production. Calcium, we know, crucial role in bone structure. Iron is in here. We know that iron helps us with oxygen, making sure that we get enough oxygen transportation in our red blood cells. Here's something, iodine. This helps people that struggle with thyroid. This is helping with hormones. Magnesium, and this also, magnesium is like a requirement for things to be happening in our body. And magnesium, it's interesting because of the current state of food. Many of us are magnesium deficient. Oh my gosh, you guys, no one told me I had a noodle on my shirt. That's so ridiculous. That is so ridiculous. That's okay. I still love you. Magnesium, need to have it there because it's cellular energy. Zinc, we heard of zinc before. We know it's an important part of enzymes like production and protein production. Selenium as well is like thyroid enzyme production. Copper, which you don't usually, like I don't think about copper all the time, but it's also helps with enzymatic production. Manganese, this is also enzymatic production. Chromium, I know this one has to do with sugar and lipid metabolism within the body, because when we're looking at digestion and metabolism, I know that chromium is definitely one of them. This also has some, like there's a whole food blend in here. So there's kale leaf, dandelion, parsley leaf, spinach, broccoli, cabbage, Brussels sprouts. That's where these beautiful coenzymes and vitamins and minerals are coming from. There's also this really cool thing. So when you're looking at digestion and people that struggle, this has a tummy taming blend in it. Peppermint leaf, ginger root extract, and caraway to help keep the tummy calm. Okay, so friends, that one there might be some very familiar vitamins in there, but I know that for a lot of people, there are certain deficiencies as well as lack of ability to absorb, because when we're consuming certain vitamins, they're not being absorbed into our body, and we're not seeing those differences that you might not even know you would see if you started to use something that's whole food and easy to, like bioavailable, easy to absorb. The other thing too is when I look at percentages on here, something that we want to look at a high percentage, and I love this, is the vitamin B's at 400% of the daily recommended value. Now, I don't know if I want to get into think about that. Our bodies actually work better when it comes to certain percentages that we need. They're higher than what might be the daily recommended amount. That's a complex rabbit hole to jump down. I'm not going to do it right now. But the ones that are in here that we want to see that are vitamin B, vitamin D. Oh, it's at 100%. That's good. Vitamin C is 222% and vitamin E is 227. So that's just this. I'm going to get on next week, next Wednesday. Oh, so if you've watched this and you know any other insights where those vitamins might be beneficial, throw it in there too. Because I was honestly just going by the book and I wasn't really overthinking some of the other articles that I've read in the past. But the biggest thing is that knowing that what's in here, and it's right over here. It says that these are whole food nutrients and minerals that help enhance, that are bound and created in a way that help enhance their bioavailability. That's what we want. And that's why they're effective. Put in your comments, put in your questions, and I will do my best to answer. And next week, I'm going to talk about I think we're going to do the omegas next week, which are key for brain health. Also, if you are expecting or know someone that is expecting, just know that these can be used and are recommended by midwives and doctors to be used for those that are expecting because they have the amounts that are needed. I don't know if there's anything else. Ask a question. I'll see if I can answer it in the next little while. Thank you for watching. This is a live Wellness Wednesday. And have a good evening. Take care of yourselves, friends. Bye.